Hey everyone, welcome back. Okay, we finished up talking about the preventative technologies, diagnostic technologies, and treatment technologies. Now, what we're doing, and the trade offs, which is theme one of this course. In this video, we're going to look at theme two. What do these technologies turn us into? Which is going to be a little bit depressing. And theme three, even if I don't adopt the technology, I'm still going to be affected by it. All right, so let's start with theme two. What these do is allow us to live depressing, anxious lives. What I mean by that is that these take you back to our prevention technologies video. We talked about public sanitation, water treatment, vaccines. These, all of the technologies that we've talked about, with the exception, no, I think all of them, allow us to live in dense urban environments that can affect our mental health. So obviously they can affect our physical health, and we've got all of these technologies that help us deal with that. But they don't deal with the fact that we are also mentally affected by this. We don't live in nature, which we know is better for us. You spend time in nature, you are happier. These technologies all allow us to not spend time in nature. They allow us to live less happy lives. They allow us to live in these dense urban environments that are stressful. They are anxiety provoking. They allow us to live among strangers so that we see tons of people that we are not connected to, that we feel alienated from. Again, depressing and anxiety provoking. And they allow us, as I talked about with my cholesterol issues, they allow us to eat lousy, unhealthy food. All I have to do is take a pill, and I can, and I'm allowed to eat whatever I want. So these healthcare technologies are amazing, and the people who've created them are amazing. The people who can deploy them to us are amazing. Factoring out all of that, stepping back, they also, in addition to being amazing, they also allow us to live less healthy, more depressed and anxious lives. Again, our standard for comparison should not be what would we be like if we didn't have these technologies. The answer to that is we would be sicker and have shorter lifespans. But that's not the right standard. The right standard that we should be thinking about is what would it be like if these things did not allow us to live in these urban environments? If these things were not necessary in the first place? Because, again, hunter-gatherers, once you get out of childhood, they live as long as we do, but they live happier, healthier lives for that duration. That's what we need to be thinking about. As we'll talk about in the conclusion, I'll leave the conclusion for the conclusion. All right. So they allow us to live depressing, anxious lives. Sorry. They also allow us to be irresponsible. I said that I don't have to eat well or exercise because I can take pills that allow me to function relatively well despite that. So that's not great either. Third thing about what they turn us into is they potentially turn us into Homo Deus. I referred to this in the last video. This is Yuval Noah Harari's title for his book, which is about what happens to humanity over the course of the 21st century. Where are we going? And he makes a pretty compelling argument that if you combine genetic engineering and you combine nanotechnology and you combine artificial intelligence, it is pretty possible that by the end of your lifetimes, human beings are radically different from the Homo sapiens that we currently are, that there are upgrades that are made. Now, again, that doesn't necessarily mean things are bad, but what it does bring into question is what will life be like that when we're that way. We would do that to improve things, right? But we've done all of this other technology stuff to improve things, and we're still behind hunter-gatherers. So it's no guarantee that we just keep throwing technology at our problems and make things better. It's possible. It's certainly possible. I don't want to pretend that it's not, but it's not guaranteed. And if you start changing who we are in fundamental ways, it's going to be hard to go back. It's going to be hard to downgrade ourselves. And if we end up in these, I mean, right now you guys have existential crises about what you're going to do with your lives. I mean, imagine the possibility of being physically more capable, cognitively more capable, but still being constrained by the expectations and the limitations of a society that has been created without your fulfillment being at the center of it. It's possible that you'll have the personal resources to transcend that and to create a fulfilling life. It could make it easier, but it also could be more frustrating. There is an ugly past of America treating geniuses who are forced into traditional social institutions, school and work, and them being miserable because of it. I mean, some of you guys fell into that situation of being smarter than, more capable of, or more capable than, more creative than your schooling wanted you to be. And you were bored and depressed and alienated. And imagine that, but now your IQ is 20 points higher. It's possible that doesn't go well. We don't know, but it's stuff that we need to be concerned about and we need to be thinking about, because the purpose of a sociology class is to arm you for how you're going to need to think about society so that you can create the fulfilling life that you want. Okay, that's it for theme 2. Sorry, it's not happy. Theme 3, even if you don't adopt it. Okay, so you decide upgrades are not for you because you need to be more hunter-gathery. Well, what happens when everybody else has got a 190 IQ and you are stuck at just being the really intelligent person that you are? What if those people who get the rollout of upgrades first, what if those people come to look at you the way human beings, particularly in America, let's just focus on America. American human beings have treated people that they have felt were inferior to them in the past. It's not a positive history of being super nice to people that we think of as inferior. It's a history of genocide and enslavement and horrible treatment. Now, all of a sudden, we're talking about upgrading people and thinking it's not going to, well, hopefully you and I will have some say over this through the legislative process, but this is not likely to be deployed evenly. It is likely that wealthier people are going to have it first, and to the extent that they do, and to the extent that they have advantages, and to the extent that their kids have advantages, it is easy to see a situation in which those advantages that there are attempts to keep those advantages to themselves. During most of American history, people who occupied a privileged status were not looking to share that privileged status with everybody. They were looking to keep that privileged status for themselves. Now, you actually have the possibility of that status really being legitimate, of people being actually superior, based on not a moral superiority, but a cognitive and a physical superiority. It would be asking a lot, ideally it would happen, but it would be asking a lot for those people to say, yeah, I'll share this with everybody else. Sorry, not the most fun things to have to consider, but they are things that we have to consider because this technology exists. There are going to be debates about how this technology, genetic engineering, nanotechnology, artificial intelligence, how that stuff is going to be deployed to human bodies. And we have to be able to grapple with these questions to create the sort of society that we're going to want to have to live in. Okay, That's it. I will see you in the next video for the probably not much different in terms of its fun conclusion. I'll see you then.